Hey, good morning everybody. I'm here on one of my hillside projects, and today we're going to be setting some steel I-beams for some shoring and lagging piles. So I posted some of the video of this project before, so now we're much closer to actually setting the beams. I'm going to flip my camera around so you can see. So these are the steel beams here. So these beams all range and vary from 40 feet down to 26 feet, and we're actually going to be setting them along the property line here, because in this area we're excavating a basement. So you can see my steel beams there. We already have them laid up. So I'm going to take a walk up this hill and show you exactly what we're doing. So I've got my telehandler here. So this telehandler here is how we lift the steel beams. So this has a 55-foot reach. It can lift up to a 12,000 pound capacity. Now these steel beams, they're 90 pounds per foot. So the beams that we're going to be setting right now are between 30 and 40 feet. So just imagine 40 feet times 90 pounds per foot. So these are pretty heavy steel beams. You see here, we're starting to rig them together. Now we use hoisting equipment, and what we're using a shackle to lift these, and an actual strap. We don't use chains. These are weight capacity rated slings and straps that we use specifically for lifting these. So let me show you what we're doing here. So we're setting this up, so we burn a hole through that steel and we use these shackles, and this is how we lift, and those shackles are connected to the front of the telehandler or the high reach forklift, which is with the strap. That enables us to move this. And so you can see this beam here. This is 14 inches by 90, and it's actually 35 feet long. So we're going to be lifting this vertically. So we're going to be lifting it straight up in the air, and we're going to be setting it along the property line here. So you can see all of my stakes and the holes that we've drilled. So let me flip this around. So here's the property line. You can see all of our stakes for all of the piles. So our plywood is covering all the holes that we've already drilled, and we're going to be setting into this hole. So look at that. You don't want to fall down one of these. So this here, so the diameter of these holes, these are 36-inch diameter holes, and this is 35 feet deep. So I'm going to be continuing to post some videos. Now as you can see, I'm going to stand back. I'm going to show you how we lift these in the air. Got to guide him, make sure his wheel doesn't come off that end. right, so now that we have that steel vertical in the air, I'm going to position it. So now that we have to take it center line on our pile on the hole that we've drilled, we're going to set that in place. Now we use C-clamps and L-metal to position it, and we suspend it in the hole. Once we set that beam in that hole, we fill that hole with concrete for the next stage. The next stage is going to be excavation and setting lagging. So I'm going to pause my video here, and what you'll see next is us actually setting this beam into the hole and clamping it in place. Okay, so now you can see the hole, the steel beam is in the hole, so we're at grade level here. So we've set the steel beam in the hole, and now what you see here is we're going to start setting the L-metal in place so that we can clamp this and suspend it. So you can see here, this is how we set the beams in place along the property line. Now there's going to be a series of 3 of these, and we're going to be excavating this grade level 17 feet deep and setting 6x12 lagging in place. Press pause.
Here.
Hold on. So what we're doing right here, did you pause?
No, you're good.
So what we're doing right here is we're actually setting the C-clamps to suspend the beam in place. We've got to level this. Now this actually, we have to have this on center of our shaft because it has to be in line with all the other piles. Now if you see back here, I've got survey stakes that give me a 4-foot offset to the center of my beam. So it's very critical that these are set in the correct location, because that could be critical and actually could have a damaging effect on how you build your structure. So we're going to measure to our hub, and we have a 4-foot on center of our strap. So we are right in the location that we should be. So we're going to set this in place, but now we also have to make sure that we plumb the steel beam. If that steel beam is just a degree out of plumb or not level, as we're excavating, your excavation could be out of plumb and not level, and that could affect also the entire process. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're releasing the tension on our strap. We've actually lowered this into place. So we've done a good job here. It's maintained. It's in place, it's level, it's not moving, and it's secure. Now we're just going to repeat the process on the original pile. So we have a total of 10 piles on this property, and I'm going to continue to post videos and footage of the steps in between. So please stay tuned. You can check us out on www.lacfco.com or www.semperdrilling.com. Stay tuned.